Level 2 low back pain stretches. For this one, you have the option, you can use a chair or have something in front of you. I will grab the chair just so you can see. So this is called ragdoll pose. So the biggest thing here is we want to bend the knees and let ourselves come down here, bracing the core. And you want to grab onto your elbows. So once you grab onto the elbows, you'll start to just kind of rock side to side. You could shake your head and rock side to side. Some people with lower back pain, this will feel really good, where others, this may not feel great. So that's where you can use this chair here. So you're still getting that lengthening in the lower back. However, you have more control of how much weight and pressure you're allowing that area to feel. So you can just kind of do movements here. Still with a slight bend in the knees. Good. So this is the ragdoll without that chair modification. And you can just hold it for about 8 breaths, 3 to 8 breaths. Letting all that gravity weight hang off your shoulders, your neck, from the back. And then you can let the arms come down, and you want to rise up, bracing the core. So whenever you're rising up into a standing position, you never want to roll up like many people will tell you. You want to flatten the back, squeeze the core, and then rise up. Okay? Because otherwise it puts way too much pressure on your vertebrae in your lower back. So you can move your chair off to the way. Make sure there's nothing in your way for our next one, because we're going to get down onto the ground. So we'll come into a tabletop position. And we may have done cat and cow before, because it's a great balancer. It makes everything, bring it back to neutral. However, it's also an amazing stretch that lubricates those jelly discs in between the vertebrae. Really can help low back pain because of the tucking and tilting of the hips. So once you have the hands down, you can always put something under the knees to cushion. You can put something under the hands, the wrists, to make it feel better, because we want you to feel good when you're doing this. So as you inhale, you'll open up the chest. So you'll gently lift the chin. And you'll exhale, you'll round the spine as you bring the chin towards the chest. Inhale, you'll drop the belly, lifting the chin. And exhale, rounding the spine. Chin comes towards the chest. Good. So I'll show you a couple options here. For this one, we are moving the spine, the lower back. So you can do really small movements where you're just pretty much very lightly moving, if that feels best for your back. So it'll look a little bit like this. So really just moving the spine. Or you can go a little bit deeper for my students that like to go deeper into the stretch. Good. And then you can bring it back to center. Remember, always end on the exhalation. So always end when the spine is nice and rounded. Whenever we're inhaling, we're opening the chest. Whenever we're exhaling, we're rounding the spine. And you always want to end on that exhale position. We're going to go on to the back now. Now we're going to do some windshield wipers, is what we call them. So I will have you show you how to do this with a pillow. So if you want to have a support system, and I'll show you it without it as well. So with the pillow, you'll have the arms out to the sides, and the feet are going to come to the outer edges of the mat. You're going to let the knees fall down to one side, and inhale, and then bring them over to the other side. So you see, if you have that support system, your legs won't go down as far. Good. So if you want to get rid of that pillow so you can go down a little bit further, you can do that as well. You can inhale back to center and over to the other side, and you can hold that there. Good. So some individuals do not handle the stretch well. If you are one of those people, you could try this instead and just kind of wiggle side to side. So it's not necessarily going to either side, but we're working into those hip joints. That's what we want. We want to get movement, because this is going to help us in our lower back, right where the lower back meets the hips. Okay, so once you've done that, your 3 to 8 breaths, you can do it moving, holding, Then we're going to bring the knees into the chest for a final little breath here to help reset the spine. Good job.